Welcome back. You're watching WION World is One. My name is Diksha Bisla and this is Speed News. Let's get started. The Israeli government has announced that all parties have signed the first phase of a ceasefire and hostage release deal, which could potentially bring an end to the two-year conflict in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office has confirmed that the government's approval has been given for the framework of the hostage release deal. Netanyahu described the development as momentous, stating that Hamas's release of captives would mark the end of the war. Hours after Israeli government ratified a ceasefire with Hamas, large plumes of smoke were seen billowing over Gaza. According to reports, at least one explosion was heard in Gaza before dawn earlier in the day, raising concerns among the locals. According to the local health authorities, the death toll in the Gaza Strip has risen to more than 67,100, with almost 170,000 others injured. Russia has launched a massive attack on Ukraine's energy infrastructure, causing widespread power outages and water supply issues in the capital city of Kiev. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko has said that the strikes left at least 9 people wounded in Kiev, 5 of whom were taken to the hospital. Residents have been urged to seek shelter immediately as Russia continues to target Kiev with ballistic missiles and drones. Several journalists in the city have also reported hearing several powerful explosions and experiencing power outages. Ukraine Energy Minister Svetlana Hryntshuk has confirmed that energy experts are working to minimize the damage and restore functionality as soon as safety conditions permit. The Russian Defense Ministry claims that Ukrainian forces blew up an ammonia pipeline in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region near the frontline village of Rusanyar to slow down Russian troops. The incident released ammonia residues, but no casualties were reported among Russian forces. A video released by the ministry shows a large vapor cloud coming out of the damaged pipeline. Now, according to a producer in Russia using the pipeline, it said that they have ceased operations shortly after Moscow launched its 2022 offensive. Ukraine hasn't commented on the incident so far. The US and Finland have signed a deal for the US Coast Guard to acquire 11 icebreaker ships, with 4 built in Finland and 7 in the United States, to bolster America's presence in the Arctic region. The agreement, worth approximately $6.1 billion, aims to strengthen U.S. national security and counter growing influence from China and Russia. Making the announcement, President Trump said that under the agreement, 4 of the ships would be built in Finland, while 7 would be built in the United States, helping to bolster U.S. shipbuilding jobs and expertise. US President Donald Trump has suggested that Spain be expelled from NATO due to its low defense spending. Trump stated that Spain has no excuse for not meeting the alliance's defense spending target of 5% of GDP, which he engineered. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has refused to commit to the target, citing incompatibility with the country's welfare state and world vision. Trump has been critical of NATO members who don't meet their defense spending commitments, and his comments come after Spain was the most prominent holdout against the spending increase at a NATO summit in June. Lawmakers in Peru have voted to impeach President Dina Boluarte, who refused to appear before Congress for the overnight hearing. Boluarte has been criticized for failing to stem crime, and her team since December 2022 has been marked by protests. Congress leader Jose Reddy has announced that an overwhelming majority of 118 out of 122 lawmakers voted for her impeachment, removing her from the presidency. At least 9 people were injured in an attack on a police station in rubles in southern Colombia. The explosion, attributed to a dissident faction of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, caused significant damage to nearby homes. The area, known for cocoa leaf plantations and its connection to the Buenaventura port, has been plagued by violence despite a 2016 peace deal aimed at ending the decades-long conflict. Authorities are working to restore order and provide support to those affected. Heavy gunfire broke out in downtown Port-au-Prince during a high-level meeting at the National Palace, attended by Haiti's Prime Minister and other officials. The meeting aimed to symbolize the government's retaking of the area from powerful gangs, which controls up to 90% of the city. Despite the gunfire, no injuries or deaths were reported, but an armored vehicle was damaged. The US and Caribbean partners are supporting a new gang suppression force to help restore order. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Mindanao in the Philippines, triggering a tsunami warning with predicted wave heights of over 1 meter above normal tides. People in coastal areas have been advised to evacuate immediately to higher grounds or move further inland. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said the potential damage was being assessed and rescue teams and relief operations were being prepared and would be deployed when it was safe to do so. A NASA research probe crash landed on the Texas farm after being blown off course. The probe was launched from the Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility in New Mexico as part of a NASA research mission. After losing contact with engineers, the probe unexpectedly descended and landed on the farm, where a family spotted it and promptly notified the authorities. Rare dinosaur fossils were discovered in southern Argentina's Rio Negro province. A team of paleontologists associated with the Argentine Museum of Natural Sciences found the remains of a sauropod and a duck-billed dinosaur dating back 70 million years. The site offers a unique glimpse into the pre-extinction world of dinosaurs. Researchers hope the findings will shed more light on the region's ancient inhabitants. In India, the Batla police have arrested 7 members of a gang allegedly involved in writing pro-Khalistan slogans at various locations, including the railway station, Achal Sahib Mandir and R.R. Bawa College in Punjab. The accused were reportedly directed by Abhay Pratap Singh, alias Raja Haruwal, a member of the banned outfits Babbar Khalsa International and Six for Justice, who is currently in Armenia, and paid them money for the job. The police have recovered 1 motorcycle used in the offence and are working to identify and arrest other associates. This incident is part of a larger trend of increasing Khalistani separatist activities in Punjab and abroad. Former British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has taken on senior advisory roles with Microsoft and AI startup Anthropic. Sunak, who resigned as Conservative Party leader after last year's election defeat, said his earnings from both roles will be donated to the Richmond Project, a charity he founded with his wife Akshata Murthy. Both companies say that the part-time, internally focused role fully complies with the conditions set by the Advisory Committee on Business Appointments, or ACOBA, which oversees rules on new jobs and former ministers and senior civil servants. Sunak will be advising both companies on strategy and global geopolitical trends, but won't be involved in UK policy or lobbying. Meanwhile, according to the UK government rules, Sunak is barred from contacting UK officials on behalf of the firms. Sunak is also prohibited from lobbying for 2 years after leaving the ministerial office. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened an investigation into around 2.9 million Tesla vehicles equipped with its full self-driving system following reports of traffic violations and crashes. The agency says full self-driving system, or FSD, which requires drivers to pay attention and intervene if needed, has at times broken traffic laws, including running red lights and making wrong lane turns. So far, 58 FSD-related incidents have been reported, including 14 crashes and 23 injuries. 6 cases involve Teslas running red lights and colliding with other vehicles. The probe is a preliminary evaluation, the first step towards a possible recall if safety risks are confirmed. Google has more than 100 companies that may have been affected by a major hacking campaign targeting Oracle's business software. The tech giant confirmed that mass amounts of customer data was stolen in an attack that may have started 3 months ago. Google cybersecurity teams believe that a hacking group called CLOP is behind the breach. CLOP is known for orchestrating large-scale attacks on third-party software providers. Google said the hackers targeted Oracle's e-business suite of applications, which is used by Oracle clients to manage customers, supplies, manufacturing, logistics, and other business processes. YouTube has rolled out an initiative under which creators that have been banned for misinformation can apply to be reinstated, albeit for a new account. YouTube said it wants to give deserving creators a second chance to rebuild their presence on the platform. Well, the new feature will roll out over the next few weeks through YouTube Studio. Eligible users can apply 1 year after their termination, but will have to start from scratch, with no old videos, subscribers, or monetization privileges. Users banned for copyright infringement are not eligible. The program was announced by YouTube last month and has ramifications for a large number of users in the United States who were banned for misinformation related to the pandemic and the 2020 US election. OpenAI's short-form artificial intelligence video app Sora hit 1 million downloads less than 5 days after its launch in late September. In a post on X, Bill Peebles, head of Sora at OpenAI, said that Sora reached 1 million downloads even faster than ChatGPT. Sora allows users to generate short videos for free by typing in a prompt. The app is only available on iOS devices and is invite-based, which means that people need a code to access it. It lets users create short AI-generated videos by simply typing in a prompt. Tech giant Salesforce has refused to pay a ransom demand from a crime syndicate that claims to have stolen nearly 1 billion records from its customers. The hacker group created a website in which it's named 37 companies that have been targeted. In a message posted on the site, the group has given today as the deadline for Salesforce to pay the ransom and threatened to leak the stolen data if it doesn't comply. The yen is heading for its steepest weekly drop in a year, falling nearly 4% as markets doubt the Bank of Japan will raise rates again in 2025. Investors remain cautious after incoming Prime Minister Sane Takaichi signaled support for loose fiscal policy, sparking concerns over political pressure on the BOJ. Meanwhile, the euro is sliding amid political turmoil in France, where President Macron struggles to form a new government and pass a budget. The dollar remains strong, supported by expectations of more Fed rate cuts and global uncertainty, while other major currencies like the Aussie and sterling hover near multi-month lows. Copper prices have declined following a surge driven by Chinese demand. The rally was fueled by China's increased imports, but concerns over global economic conditions and potential supply disruptions have led to a pullback in prices. Despite the recent dip, analysts remain cautious about the market's outlook, citing uncertainties in global demand and potentially supply constraints. Investors are advised to monitor developments closely as the situation evolves. US companies are expected to report slower profit growth in the third quarter of 2025, with S&P 500 earnings rising about 8.8% compared to over 13% in previous quarters. Rising tariffs and the ongoing government shutdown are weighing on growth. Despite this, investor optimism remains high. Driven by excitement over AI advancements, major tech firms continue to lead the market, pushing indices to record highs. However, concerns persist over whether these high valuations are sustainable without strong returns from AI investment. US chocolate lovers are in for a pricey Halloween this year. A new report from Wells Fargo's Agri-Food Institute says that cocoa prices have more than doubled since early 2024, driven by severe supply disruptions in West Africa, which produces about 70% of the world's cocoa. Experts warn that prices will stay high throughout next year, advising consumers to compare retailers and consider lower cocoa or generic brands to save money. India were handed their first defeat at the 2025 ICC Women's World Cup by South Africa. India's batters had a tough outing after being asked to bat first. However, Richa Ghosh's brilliant 94 helped the hosts recover and set a competitive target of 252. Like India, the Proteas lost regular top-order wickets and was down to 81 for 5 in 19.4 overs. But Nadine de Klerk hit a brilliant unbeaten 84 from 54 balls as South Africa produced a stunning comeback to beat co-hosts by 3 wickets. Global star Nora Fatehi is confirmed to join the stellar lineup of Untold Dubai 2025. It is one of the world's premier music festivals taking place at Expo City, Dubai from November 6th to November 9th. Fatehi is set to share the stage with global music sensations including Latin music powerhouse J Balvin and electronic music giants Martin Garrix and Alan Walker.